Hello, pilgrims. Well, what do you got to say for yourselves? Me, I have really, said a few things over the weeks, months, whatever. But one thing I have always wondered is if you had to explain yourself to an alien race like you see in occasional sci-fi, things like that, where like in Star Trek: The Next Generation, where Picard had to confront the Q, and the Q put mankind on trial, and Picard had to pull it off to stop the eradication of us. Of course, by that time, we'd all be dead, and we would have never known about it anyway. It really wouldn't have affected us. And also the fact is that, it just, if they're going to do it, they're going to damn do it. Let's face it. Anybody probably able to contact us, alien or otherwise, alien, of course, from another world, not another galaxy, but another part of the galaxy. After getting here, believe me, they're going to have more technology than we'll ever think of. And, well, we will think of, but we just haven't got there yet. Makes you wonder how many of them had a head start on us. And I just watched a movie that I've seen before, but I watched it again because I find it a unique expression about what we are in life. And Jupiter Ascending. Remember that movie, Jupiter Ascending, okay. Another one that I really liked, of course, was The Fifth Element. Or the Fifth Element? Yeah. And, but let's get back to Jupiter Ascending. This person, this lady, finds out, Jupiter, who she's named after the planet, that she's actually a descendant of a royal household. And there are many royal households, which are basically, like anything else, they're very rich, and we're talking about richness that we have never even encountered. And whoever wrote this story did a very good job. I commend them. Also, I commend the photography and the way the story was told. But the thing is that Jupiter discovers that when she's finally in communication with the sister, who is the daughter or whatever, because of the way they reincarnate or whatever, she is the gene reincarnation of that individual. And of course you have to watch the movie. But anyway, to get back, the woman tells her and shows her that, she says, the most valuable thing in the universe is time, and how much of it you have. And when she says to her, can you tell me how old I am? And Jupiter looks at her and says, 30, 40-ish. She goes, I'm about to celebrate my 14th millennium. 14,000 years old. She said, my mother was about to celebrate her 98th millennium before she died. And 98,000 years she's old when she dies. But Jupiter says, well, how did she die? Because she was murdered. Mommy was murdered. Okay. 98,000 years old and she's murdered. Makes you kind of think, right? Superior life form, which is, she said, we're human, just like you. In fact, you were bred from human stock on your planet. And earlier, one of the gentlemen who's the major male character, the love interest, turns around earlier and says, not the love interest, like his buddy, which is Sean Bean, yeah, whatever, turns around and tells her, oh yeah, well, you see, there was a life form on the planet here when they decided to stock it and set the breeding stock on it. And she said, oh, it was destroyed. And then, of course, you guys were implanted on the planet for, whatever, propagation and until harvest. No, she didn't really know what harvest was, and they hadn't got around to that, but that comes later, right? But she says, you mean they destroyed the dinosaurs before they put us on the planet? Shows you how backyard we could be, right? This could be, this shit stuff could be going on right now. And you know, when you think about it, it's like that movie They Live. I think that is an awesome movie. Carpenter did that one, right? John Carpenter. About the fact that they're already here. We just can't see them because of the fact of a radio wave put out on a sub-level that blocks them being seen the way they really are by us, and we see them as we see everybody else. So you never know, right? Think about it. They could actually be here on this planet now, and they could have been here many times. Stargate is a good example also. You know, some of these science fiction writers have come up with some brilliant stuff about what the universe could be. I mean, think about it. We all that I'm aware of, except for you aliens out there that come from other planets, and maybe even dimensions, that still leave out sliders. How would you like to be a multiple self in every dimension that is conceivable in a multi-dimensional universe? But to get back, we're in Jupiter ascending. What I want to get across is Jupiter discovers that wealth is not a material thing. Wealth is actually life, being able to have more of it and the power to use it to rule over everybody else. So here we have a universe of advanced beings that have all the ability to make beautiful, wonderful things. And they're still living in a society that is so advanced that they're still having, technically, clan wars among themselves. In the beginning of the movie, the man and the sister are walking through a hologram of a place that had been there, a planet, and the woman says, "What planet was this? Who are these people?" "Oh yeah, they were the Iraqians or the so-and-sos, and they were, you know, before harvest." And they're walking and there's like a doll on the ground. Again, very humanesque, the cities. And they're all humans, just like us, these aliens. And what I liked is, of course, Jupiter is the planet where they're all holding up beneath the clouds of Jupiter. And they're so advanced that they can pull this off, of course. And we are just like little Stone Age monkeys running around, you know. And I like that when they say that the man said, well, when they finally hit to the point where they've overpopulated to the point to where the planet can't support them, then the harvest, they are harvested. And of course the harvest is when she's holding a cylinder, a long cylinder, not a cylinder, yeah, like a cylinder in her hand, or what would you, yeah, and it's capped on both ends, and it glows, and it's glass and silver. And the guy says it takes 100 lives to fill one of those containers, the flask. But it is life, the life they extract from 100 bodies. But when they paid off the bounty hunters who took her and delivered her to them, they paid them off in cylinders. And that was a big payoff, right? Because every cylinder, of course, brings life, more life. So forget the gold, forget whatever else. It's like the woman said in the movie, it's all, the most valuable thing in the universe is time. Now, there is some logic in that. We are given time right now. You and I have been given time. We have so much time, and unfortunately, unless we're told we have a death sentence, like, oh, congratulations, you have cancer, and you're in stage 2, and we can't operate. Well, they might be able to give you a time limit, how long it'll take for you to progress and die, but it is a death sentence. And of course, I wouldn't do the chemo. It holds out the hope, but more people tell me I've had people tell me that, it may prolong your life, but it's a horrible way to live the other. I don't know. That's a decision I would have to make. But then again, it's made for me because I'm not on a medical care plan that's going to give me that chemo. I'm not on the plan that's gonna put me up to a blood machine and filter my blood and for my kidneys and things like that. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna be able to. Can't afford it. Too expensive. I'm gonna die. And let's face it, some of us are that way. Some of us, we're that way because we get that kind of illness and it happens. I've known people on Facebook and in Skype, some of them for years, and I've lost some of them that have been friends and people I've never been with physically, which is an amazing thing there. A friendship there. I've reunited with people that I went to high school with, people I was in the military with. But I had some people that was in high school with, and they passed on ahead of me. And, I want to say they were good people. They were people that I enjoyed. One of them I connected with after all those years, we talked about 3-4 times a week. And just one day I called and I couldn't get him in Skype. Found out later, since he was in my high school, that he had died after the high school reunion, and that was it. It happens. But here's the deal. Are we the cattle? Are we here doing it on our own? Did we actually come from somewhere else? Like some of these sci-fi people say, there is a possibility. And even some so-called scientists of, whatever great knowledge they're supposed to possess, they say, well, I don't know, a possibility. Well, maybe we were, life did not originate on this planet. It was transplanted. I know it had to be, and they'll tell you that, hey, I'm not a creationist. Okay, now if you're a creationist and want to quote me Bible verse, you go for it, big guy or gal. But something, I'm just not going to accept it. You pull out any holy book you want, that is not going to support the idea that one godlike creature made us. But it would be easier for me to accept that a breeding corporation, like when the person said to me, well, said in the movie to Jupiter, said to her, when they get slaughtered like cattle. And that's when she drops the container to the floor. She says 100 lives. And she felt like, could you imagine the disgust when you think this is how the man yells, I create, and then I destroy another one of them. The one at the very end that was going to, and one tries to marry her to get, it's all about power. And power was money, which was life. Life, the most valuable thing. To be able to harvest the planet that we're on, all of it, totally, of all humans, which the man in the movie said, the alien said, oh, sir, they are of robust stock. Like they're all graded like wine. There were grades to it. Like, how'd you like to know that? You're robust. Scary, isn't it? Are we? What are we? Are we going to live our lives as cattle? Are we going to live our lives to be slaughtered? Or I say every day, let's live our lives and get the most out of them. Because when they're gone, we don't know what's going to happen on the uptake. Oh, you may think you know, but you don't really know. I don't give a darn who you are. You do not know for sure. You honestly do not. And if you do, you're never going to know if you're wrong. if you're wrong, you're just going to be fucking dead like me. Frickin' dead. I like that colorful word. Because, you know, dead is dead, no matter how you look at it. Now, if you're not resurrected, you're never going to know, so it doesn't hurt. I don't remember anything about being alive before I became here. In my person, I didn't grow into being the person I am until I did. Until then, I was just a youngling, a youngster. This is exactly what we are right now. So, what are we going to do? We're going to stay young our lives until we die and enjoy? Are we going to get old and decrepit and just feel bad about the world and go out just saying nothing was worth it? What a damn depressing idea. I don't know about you, but I'm going to go out a happy camper. You bet. And if you don't want to do that with me, I feel sorry for you. But then again, look at me. I'm trying to talk to you, and I kept looking at my views on my videos. Hey, somebody out there help me get some word out. Somebody take Carlton S. Campbell, The Guy Rocks, and pass me around. I'm asking for help here. Somebody share me. Get the word out that I'm here and I'm talking. I want to know what to talk about. I want to know what people want to know about. I want to talk about stuff, but I don't want to talk about it like it's all a big god darned stereo production where I got to have all the effects and all that crap. I want to talk to you one-on-one. And I promise I will talk back. But I want to talk about subjects that are important. And I won't beat around the bush. Hey, I got the equipment here. I can take notes. I'll even answer. But you got to get a hold of me. And yeah, hey, my trademark here is keeping it simple, keeping it to the point, and let's talk about it. But let's talk about stuff that we can actually make use of. Politics and religion, I can't make use of it, but I can make use of a cookbook. But then again, I have my burning questions. This has been a tape that has reached its limit. Actually, a little bit longer than the others. But talk to me. Remember, spread me around, please. Help me out here. Carlton S. Campbell, The Guy Rocks, and Other Realities. The Guy Rocks and the Mark Other Realities. Carlton S. Campbell. That's me. Don't forget me. See you later. Hear from you soon. Goodbye.